Welcome back, dear students. So we are again here for class 10th video, subject science, chapter number 4, carbon and its compounds, and this is lecture number 2. So in today's lecture, we will do allotropes of carbon, examples of allotropes of carbon, diamond, graphite and fullerene. We will do their physical properties, chemical properties and their uses, and then we will have our homework, and in the end we will do the homework solution for the lecture number 1. So let us begin with the allotropy. Allotropy, that means this allotropy is the property by virtue of which an element can exist in more than one forms. Like carbon, it exists in many forms. So this property of an element by which it can exist in more than one forms is called allotropy. The various forms of an element which have similar chemical properties but different physical properties are called its allotropic forms or allotropes. So an element can have the property of existing in more than one form, and the many number of forms of that element which have the same chemical properties but different physical properties are called its allotropes. For example, carbon, it exists in many of the allotropic forms. Allotropes of carbon. So carbon is having 3 different categories of allotropes: crystalline form, amorphous form and fullerenes. Fullerenes is the third category, which or you can say third type of allotrope, which has been developed recently. In crystalline form where we have 2 types, diamond and graphite. In amorphous form, we have many like coke, coal, carbon black, charcoal, and fullerenes is the third category. So, although we have a lot of allotropes of carbon, but we will do diamond, graphite and fullerenes, as these 3 are the main allotropes of the carbon which are widely used. Diamond. Diamond is one of the purest crystalline form of carbon. The number of carbon atoms in any piece of diamond depends upon its size. Therefore, diamond may be described as the general formula Cn or capital C. Diamond is formed from the carbon present in the upper mantle of the earth over 150 kilometers under extremely high pressure, that is 70,000 atmosphere, and temperature of 1500 degrees Celsius, that is really a high temperature, and under these extreme conditions the formation of diamond takes place. Now let us see some of the properties of diamond. The first property is its appearance. So diamond is a transparent substance having a very high refractive index, that is 2.45, and it occurs as octahedral crystals. It shines very brilliantly when it is cut properly and polished. When we talk about its hardness, so it is the hardest natural substance known till now. Its density is very high, that is 3.5 grams per milliliter. And if we talk about its electrical conductivity, it do not conduct electricity at all. It is also not thermally conductive. That means diamond is a non-conductor of heat, or it do not permit heat to pass through it. If we talk about the solubility, then it is insoluble in all the kind of solvents. It is having no effect at room temperature, or it do not react with the air at room temperature. But when it is heated in air at 900 degrees Celsius or above, it burns to give carbon dioxide. What is the structure of diamond? Each carbon atom is covalently bonded to other 4 carbon atoms in the tetrahedral fashion. We have seen that how carbon is arranged in tetrahedral fashion. So this way, because tetrahedral is having fixed corners, and that is how carbon is very rigid, and it's a 3-dimensional geometry, because each carbon atom will attach to further 4 carbon atoms, and those 4 carbon atoms will further combine with different carbon atoms. It is very hard, and it is having very high melting and boiling points. Here we have the diagram of carbon, where the diagram of diamond, where carbon is arranged as tetragonal geometry. So here carbon, as you can see, that middle carbon atom is having covalent bonding with 4 other carbon atoms. Further, these 4 carbon atoms are combining with 4 carbon atoms, and this way a 3D geometry is created, because each hydrogen atom is combining with the next 4, forming a tetrahedral geometry. Now let us see the uses of diamond. Diamond, as we know, that this has been produced in extreme conditions and at a very high depth under the earth crust. So it is a very precious decorative stone which is used in jewelry. Because of its hardness, it is used for manufacturing tools for cutting and grinding the glass and rocks, because this is even harder than glass and rocks. It is also used for making high precision tools used in the surgery, like the tools are used in the cataract surgery of the eye. It is used for making high precision thermometers, and also for the making of protective windows in spacecraft, because it is hard also, and it is having a property of transparency. Then second allotrope of carbon is graphite. It is also known as black lead, because it marks the paper black. This is another purest crystalline allotropic form of carbon. It occurs free in nature and more widely distributed than diamond in nature. Graphite is artificially prepared by heating anthracite coal with a little iron oxide or silica as a catalyst in the electric furnace. So anthracite coal, when it is heated in the presence of either iron oxide or silica as a catalyst, it turns into graphite. Now let us see the properties of graphite. In appearance, graphite is greyish black and opaque, having a metallic luster, and it is arranged in hexagonal crystals. About hardness, so graphite is a soft non-metal, and it is lighter in density than diamond, because diamond is having a density of 3.5 grams per milliliter, and graphite is having a density of 2.3 grams per milliliter. and hence this is lighter than the diamond. If we talk about the electrical and thermal conductivity, then graphite is the only non-metal which can conduct electricity as well as heat. It is a very good conductor of heat and electricity. Its melting point is very high, that is around 3800 degrees Celsius. It is soluble in all common solvents. It is insoluble in all common solvents. If we talk about the solubility of the graphite, then it is insoluble in all common solvents, and at room temperature it do not react with air, but when it is heated from 700 to 800 degrees Celsius, then it burns to give carbon dioxide gas. What is the structure of graphite? In graphite, carbon atoms, they are arranged in flat parallel layers. Each carbon atom is bonded to 3 other carbon atoms by covalent bonds, forming a 6 carbon ring. See, I have said that carbon atom is bonded to 3 other carbon atoms. That means 4th valence electron of the carbon is free to move. Each layer is bonded to a adjacent layer by weak forces, and as there is a formation of layers, so each layer can easily slide over the other. Here you can see the layered structure of graphite, where these dots are representing the carbon atoms. Each carbon atom is further connected to the 3 carbon atoms, and hence they are forming the layers. And these dotted lines, they are representing the weak force of attraction between the layers of carbon atoms. Now let us see the uses of graphite. Graphite, as it is a electrical conductive non-metal, so it is used for making electrons in electric arc furnaces, as a high temperature lubricant, and making crucibles for melting metals, because it is having a very high melting point, so it can be used for this purpose. It is also used for making lead pencils. Graphite is also used for manufacturing gramophone records and for manufacturing artificial diamond, because when graphite is heated under extreme conditions of temperature and pressure, it turns into diamond. Now, the third allotropic form which has recently been developed is fullerenes. So, fullerene is an interesting allotrope of carbon having a formula of C60. C60 here tells us that there is an arrangement of 60 carbon atoms. This is the third allotrope of carbon which we are studying, and it is also known as Buckminster fullerene because of its shape, as it is arranged in the shape of a football. It is nearly spherical and hollow, a cage-like structure. C60 is a molecular substance and it is soluble in benzene. When we talk about the properties of preparation of fullerenes, then it is prepared by electrically heating a graphite rod in atmosphere of helium. When graphite rod is heated electrically and helium gases used at the atmosphere. There are some of the other fullerenes which are C70, C90 or C120. So 70, 90, 120 are the number of carbon atoms used in this structure. Fullerene is used as superconductors, as lubricants and catalyst, as fiber to reinforce plastic, as semiconductors, as electrical wires, or as a care. It is also used for a treatment of AIDS. So as a cure for AIDS it is also used. This type of a football kind of structure is obtained by fullerenes. Here you can see the ring formation by the carbon atoms. So 6 carbons are forming one ring, and these carbon atoms, they are further connected with the 3 carbon atoms to form the rings, and hence it is taking a shape of a hollow football cage like structure. It is forming a football like structure which is inside hollow and it looks like a cage. Now let us see today's homework. You have 2 questions as homework. Question number 1 is what do you mean by allotropy? Question number 2 is draw the structure of allotropes of carbon, that is diamond and graphite. So you have to try to draw the 3D geometry of diamond and graphite. Now let us see the homework solution of lecture number 1. So in lecture number 1 you are having 2 questions, and the first question was what would be the electron dot structure of carbon dioxide? So in the answer we have to draw the electron dot structure of carbon dioxide. So we know oxygen is having atomic number 8 and its electronic configuration is 2, 6. Carbon is having atomic number 6, its electronic configuration is 2 and 4. So to complete their octet, to stabilize themselves, oxygen need 2 more electrons, whereas carbon needs to form 4 covalent bonds. So we have oxygen valence electrons represented by the cross marks and carbon valence electrons represented by the dots. So carbon can mutually share 2 electrons with 1 oxygen this way, and oxygen can share its 2 electrons in the covalent bond so that it can complete its octet. So in this way 2 covalent bonds are made in oxygen and carbon atom. This way carbon has completed its octet. It is having 8 electrons now by the sharing of electrons, and oxygen, it has shared 2 of its electrons in the bonding, and now it is having 2 more electrons to complete its octet. So 1 oxygen is making 2 covalent bonds with carbon atom. Here this carbon atom is also making 2 more covalent bonds with oxygen, as carbon is having a tendency to make 4 covalent bonds. So it is completing its octet, and this way carbon is forming 2 double bonds with oxygen atom and 2 double bonds with other atom of oxygen, and hence there is formation of carbon dioxide. Our second question is what would be the electron dot structure of a molecule of sulfur which is made up of 8 atoms of sulfur joined in the form of ring? So the answer for second question is, as we know that sulfur is having electronic configuration 286, that is atomic number 16. So each sulfur atom is having 6 valence electrons. So these 6 valence electrons are represented by the dots, and as we know that they are arranged in a form of a ring. So that is how we have tried to adjust the sulfur atoms, which are 8 in numbers, in such a way that they can form the ring. So here you can see that 2 sulfur atoms, the one sulfur atom is making two covalent bonds as it needs two more electrons to complete its octet to get stabilized. So in this way it is arranged that one electron of this sulfur atom is shared by the adjacent sulfur atom electron. So it is forming one covalent bond with this sulfur atom, and another covalent bond with another sulfur atom, so that now the octet of this sulfur atom is also complete, and this sulfur is further connecting with next sulfur by forming one covalent bond, and this way it is also completing its octet. And this way all these 8 electrons, they are getting stabilized and making 2 covalent bonds each. So this is how a sulfur 8 is formed in a ring shape. So I'll be continuing my lecture, this chapter carbon and its compound, in the lecture number 3. Till then, do your homework. Take care and goodbye.